This is an incredibly small welder. Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today I have a review for you. I have this Sefaspe welder that got sent to me. They wanted me to do a review on it, so let's get this opened up and see what we got. I'll be honest with you, the box itself is like less than 10 pounds maybe. Pretty light for a welder. Oh my word. Is this thing a toy? That is a tiny welder. Will this thing even work? This is a 110 volt MMA120 mini by Sefaspe, and I will be amazed if this thing will actually lay down some weld. This is crazy. So get the welding unit. I will leave a link in the description for this if you're interested. This is like a hobbyist welder or just a DIYer. It's an inverter welder. Has a little information there on the bottom for you. So you get the welder manual. Comes with some welding rods, about 5 welding rods, and your electrode and your ground. That thing is stiff. And a little cleaning brush. And I take it that's the hammer too. So I got this sent to me by Sefaspe, and they wanted me to take a look at it and give you my thoughts. So that's all that comes in the package. We're gonna go try to lay down some weld. This is definitely the smallest welder I've ever seen. Okay, so I'm gonna hook up the ground cable, and it's pretty self-explanatory. One is the electrode, one is obviously got to be the ground, and they go in one direction, and then you twist them. They lock in. Your cord is only about 6 feet long, it looks like. So we got our electrode and our cord hooked in, and it comes with 5 electrodes, E6013. So we're gonna start out with this size and just see how it does, and then we may go up to a bigger size here in a minute. And this plugs into 110. So you should be able to weld anywhere you have some electricity, at least in the United States. So we're gonna clamp our ground here, keep our electrodes separated, and we're gonna turn this on and see what we get. All right, very quiet. There's only one adjustment on it. I take that back. If you push the knob, there's another adjustment. This would be your amps. So it goes all the way up to 120. So let's start at 65 and see what happens. Give me some scrap metal over here. We're gonna set the unit over here so it's out of the way. So this is my little setup here. I got my welder sitting there and my table here. So I got a mower blade here and then some a little bit thinner. It's an old post hole digger end. It's a little bit thinner metal. We'll use that too. So get us some cleaned off part here to try our weld on. Get some a little faster. Look at that miniature welder. It's hilarious, isn't it? All right, we're gonna start with the smaller rod, the watt rod that came with it. I'm not sure exactly what size it is, but it's very small. And then it's a E6013, and then we got a 6011 here. It's a little bit thicker. We'll see how it does with that afterwards. All right, here we go. Sefaspe 120 mini. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. Seems like it needs a little bit more juice. I got it set at 85 now. Not bad, not bad. I am not used to welding with this rod. It's really small, so you really have to keep feeding it pretty quick. But I mean, we got some weld there. That's pretty amazing. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit more to like 95. I think it needs a little more heat. This is not quite a 1/4 inch thick, but it's pretty close. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just me not feeding it quick enough or what, but it keeps cutting out every once in a while. But this isn't the cleanest metal either. It could be part of it. But that weld looks really good. I'm pretty amazed. 110. Who would have thought you could weld with 110 and get a decent weld? I'm gonna weld on this real thin thing here for a second and see how it looks. It actually comes with a little hammer and brush to knock that slag off. Not real heavy duty, but in a pinch, it would work. Very affordable welder though, so gotta keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to lay one more bead on this, lay one more bead on this, and I'm gonna go up to the bigger rod and see how that does. I will say it welds pretty smooth. A little bit too much heat. It's pretty thin. I probably should have turned it down a little bit. We're at 95 right now. We're gonna put one more weld on this with this smaller rod here, and then we'll try the bigger rod. You can see the difference there, but there's definitely some size difference. We're gonna turn it up to 105. It welds really smooth. I'm really impressed with that. Yeah, that's a nice weld. Definitely got a lot of penetration there. It's almost too hot at 105, and this goes up to 120. We're gonna try this 6011, and it is a thicker rod. Let's see if it can handle it. I might have to turn the heat up on this one. I'm at 110. This is one reason you don't weld on wood. I definitely can handle a bigger rod even. It's not the prettiest weld. I don't remember what 6011 is. It doesn't have much slag on it, and it's not as nice a weld as that smaller rod, but it's still a good rod with good penetration. All right, a 7018 rod. If I remember right, these are supposed to make a real nice weld, real pretty weld. I don't remember much else about it, but we'll see how it does. I'm gonna get it around in the right spot. And we need more juice. Struggling a little bit with the 7018 rod. I don't know why. If I don't have a good ground or what. 7018 there. Had a problem keeping it going there. This one I was able to lay something down, get the slag off and see what it looks like. Well guys, after trying out this Sefaspe welder, I'm pretty impressed. This thing is so little, like almost about as long as my hand. And who would have thought you could get anything that would actually work? This is small. I mean, you could take this anywhere and put some weld down. It'd be super good for like a hobby welder, just to have something around that didn't take up much room, easy to store, super quiet when it's running, and really super smooth welds. The only thing it struggled with is that 7018 a little bit, but that's a really thick rod. But yeah, all these welds are very worthy welds. I'm not a professional welder, but even I could lay down some welds with this. So thank you, Sefaspe, for sending this. Really appreciate that. Nice little machine. This would be a good welder like to keep in your work truck. So, you know, for the weird chance you get something where you need to lay down a little bit of weld to some tacking or something. I mean, this takes up basically almost no room. If you're interested in checking this out, there'll be a link in the description below this video. That's gonna do it for today, guys. Hope you got something out of this. They sent me this welder to try out. Glad they did. So until next time, guys, good luck with all your projects.